Welcome to Cultivated Conversations. Thank you so much for being here with us for another incredible episode. Today, I'm joined by the fabulous Orly Shani. She is an entrepreneur. You've seen her on shows like The Today Show and networks like E! She is a mom and so many things. And we're going to dig into all types of stuff around running a business, being a creator, the fashion industry, the television industry, and so much more. So here we go. So today on the podcast, it's someone whom I've known for, we think, a little more than a decade, maybe a little less than a decade, but we're both moms and, calculating years can be a little hard these days. Plus, we also don't want to admit that we, are at the age. No, I'm kidding. We own our ages. And you said you're turning you're 40.
Yeah,
I'm turning 40 this year. Yeah,
I
so
love
we're the
it.
same. I know. I'm excited.
Oh, I told everybody.
You did?
Yeah. I love it.
It's like a badge of honor, right?
Yeah. I don't know why, but it feels like a very sexy age.
Yeah.
Like whatever it was when I was, 15 and I'm like, oh my God, you're ancient.
Yeah.
Obviously changed. And I'm like, I'm 40.
Yes.
I like whisper it to strangers.
So Orly Shani, you are a entrepreneur, you are a mom, you are a talent. You've hosted so many shows. You have a wildly successful YouTube channel that you've created through your passion of fashion. If someone were to ask you who is Orly Shani,
Oh my God.
what would you say?
That is I should leave right now because I can never do that.
I know it's hard, right?
It's the hardest question.
Yeah.
And anytime people are like, what do you do? I literally
same.
don't know how to answer it.
I know.
I am more confident now saying entrepreneur just because that feels like it encompasses
a lot of
so many of the
things,
things that I'm doing, especially because my business has now become a real business. And so I feel a sense of like
Ownership
an anchor.
of that.
Yeah, I feel very anchored in that reality. I don't feel like a fraud. I'm like, The other week I was in New York, I was doing the Today Show, and they're like, what do you want your Chiron to be?
Yeah.
And they were like, what do you want it to say on the bottom? And I was like, can we do entrepreneur and personal style expert? And she was like, sure. And I'm like, okay, that works. Because to me, I've never considered myself a style expert. Like when I used to do stuff for the red carpet for E, I would have to like do the Google pronunciation, play the recording of like brand names.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I'm not that girl.
Yeah.
Like I don't know the designers. I don't know what's in. I don't know what's on trend. I don't know the difference between this fashion week and that fashion week. What season are we in? Like what's happening? I don't know. But personal style, the desire to really communicate who you are, to make sure that you feel really secure in the way that you're showing up in the world, different tools and tricks for how to do that, whether it's DIY or shopping, thrifting, like that has always been where it all came from for me across all the content I did. And even now with my business, like it's all related to that, how deeply personal the visual world is. And when we see ourselves in the mirror, it's such a complicated thing and it can make us feel so incredible and it can make us feel like complete shit. And so like if you look in the mirror and you are seeing you through and through, accurately, authentically who you are and you feel great, it's just like, it's magic for the rest of your life. So to me, it's always been that.
I love that.
But yeah, it's such a hard one to answer.
No, but you are so good at that personal style thing. That reminds me of a time that I met up with you at the Century City Mall and you had a baby in the stroller and we went to Zara and I still have those, like I still have the jeans that we bought. We bought like a long duster. I still have that.
Oh my gosh. That was such a fun day.
That was a fun day.
Like that is what I'd like to be sort of remembered for, is like empowering people and inspiring people to like figure out who they are and then celebrating it. So it's like whether it's the style stuff that I do or shows I want to create or ways I want to communicate to people online or content that I do, like I want people to feel seen and celebrated. And I want to be like that thing for them that makes them feel like they leave and their insecurities go away. They feel a little more confident in who they are. They feel like yeah, fuck yeah, that's me. That to me is like, I feel like the essence of like what I would like everything I do to be about and like how I'm remembered. That's the thing that really matters the most to me.
And it's been so fun to watch you and watch the success of Rocknot, which we're going to, get into a little bit later. But you are talent, right? You I think really got into this industry as, you're smart and beautiful and all the things, but I think that was your first iteration, right, was sort of in front of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, that was the goal. Like, I wanted to be an actor. I loved it so much, and I loved storytelling, and I was really comfortable being the center of attention and putting on a show. And, like, it just was a place that I felt really natural. I just loved it. It was just fun. And that's actually, I think what's funny is, like, because at that time, if you wanted to be on camera, if that was a thing, it was acting. There was no other real thing that
YouTube didn't exist.
Even like hosting really wasn't a thing. There were like news broadcasters that put on that funny voice, and like, that's not what I want to be. So it was acting. That was what. But I was never really any good at that. I was really good at being myself.
Yeah. When you hosted that show, Fabulous.
With Kristen Cavallari.
Yes. So you get your first gig on, like, you know, a real official show, right?
Yeah.
And then talk to me about how you danced in these two worlds of being in front of the camera, but then I think also very much behind the camera as this creative person.
Yeah. Well, so it's interesting. You know, fashion, style, all of that was always something that I loved deeply. Really communicating who I was through my style was super important. Carving my own path was super important. Doing it visually was just inherently how I communicated. So those things always existed at the same time. There was this part of me pursuing acting and on camera and what that all looked like. And there was this other part of me creating clothing and selling clothing. When I moved to New York, there was this moment where the majority of the focus started. I wasn't doing any acting. I was just trying to build a clothing line, and I was bartending. And I ended up on a show called Fashion Star, which was a design competition show. And I didn't win, but I was sort of, they told me, considered like a fan favorite. And so when they did a season 2, they asked me if I would be like a backstage host, a correspondent. That was really my first time hosting. That I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that was a thing, really.
Right.
You know, and so I got the opportunity to do that, and the feedback was so overwhelming, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I get it. Like, everything that I've loved doing but wasn't good at because I wasn't any good at not being me is coming into play here. And so that then started what became this kind of hosting career. That was hosting that show. That was then going to E! And Fashion Police and E! News and like all of those things was started on accident, really. But when I was at Home and Family, you know, Hallmark is a wonderful network. It has a really specific audience.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I actually take that back. It believes it has a really specific audience.
Correct.
Their audience is a lot more open than I think they think they are.
Yeah.
But it felt they really wanted to deliver to their audience a very particular version of women, moms, men, crafts. Like, it was like, this is the way we want it to be. And so I loved working there, and I loved doing projects, but like I felt very aware that I wasn't me. And I wasn't really being given the space. I was showing up as Orly, but it was like this weird, hallmarkable Orly that wasn't very me. And I was worried that like people would think this was me.
Well, or you would be put into a bucket or like a sector, and, you know, it's forever this kind of clean cut version of you that is so not who you are. Yeah.
Yeah. And that future jobs that might be the right fit and make me feel so incredible wouldn't come my way because they wouldn't think I was the right fit because I was putting on this performance.
Yep.
And so that's when I started the YouTube channel. And that's when the more behind the scenes, you know, producing and developing and creating content started happening, was when I was like, well, I'm going to create a YouTube channel. So at least these things are existing together. So there's a place where I get to talk the way I talk and act the way I act and make projects that I think are cool that exists in tandem with this very exciting national TV show filmed on the Universal lot, like big time, like, whoa, this happens. But at the same time, this thing that I'm filming in my house, that's actually more me, happens.
Yep.
And that's kind of when that all started.
I feel like YouTube has been your space, like, since you started, right? Traditional television networks are fading. I mean, they're not fading. They will still be there, but the ways by which they greenlight projects and develop projects is forever changed.
Yes.
And so everyone is looking at YouTube. Now, here we are in 2025, right? And this is something that you've been doing for over a decade. So I'd love for you to just share your experience and insights on how you've seen that platform change, right?
So I'm 40, and to me, I still have that like slightly outdated view of YouTube. Like, it wasn't created when I was 16. So by the time that YouTube really became a thing, I felt a little cheesy for being a YouTuber. Because I'm like, I'm not some 16-year-old doing makeup in her bedroom.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, in my mind for a really long
Yeah.
time. It's not. It's like the biggest streamer in the world.
Yep.
It's obviously not that. But there's still a lot of that old story that I have to overcome. And so I have a love-hate relationship with it, because anyone can create a show, create a content, release it, put it out there. That's very exciting. What I don't like is that it in some ways still feels like a social network, and you're like fighting the algorithm, and you're fighting for attention, and you gotta like create. Like, I don't love that.
Yeah.
Currently, my existence on YouTube has always been 100% self-produced, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Like, if I could have a show released on YouTube with a production company, I would be on cloud nine.
So tell us about Rocknot and what that journey, how it started, and where you are now.
Yeah. My career, for the most part, has been this on-camera, sort of personal style expert, DIY expert, was what I had been doing, with the goal of having a talk show, with the goal of doing it on a bigger stage, still goals that I hold dear. I had tried and had different clothing lines, and they hadn't worked. And honestly, I think in the same way that I wasn't really any good as an actor, I wasn't really any good as a clothing designer. And that's because my obsession with personal style actually got in the way of me designing something, because I want it to be exactly right for you, and exactly right for you, and exactly right for me. And then I couldn't make any decisions.
Yeah.
Because like, well, I have no bust, or you have a bust, but you have a this, and you're taller than this. Like, it just was paralyzing. And so I think that's the reason why a lot of things I tried failed, because it was visionless. I had sort of resigned myself to being like, I'm not a designer, I'm a teacher. I'm really good at teaching. I'm really good at thinking outside the box. I'm really good at seeing something that's a big trend that big designers are doing that most of us can't afford, and saying like, hey, I never went to fashion school, so I'm self-taught. I don't know if this is the right way to make it, but I just tried it and it worked.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you guys should do it like this. It's going to save you like a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that was really felt like a sweet spot. That's how the YouTube channel grew. And then I did a DIY where I made a detachable rhinestone purse strap. And I just loved the idea that there were these bags and there were these products that were out there, and that's it. It's that. You buy it and that's the bag you wear it with, and that's the thing. And I was like, what if like it was detachable, and it just, you put it on like your freaking diaper bag. You put it on a clutch. You put it on your everyday bag. It goes on a fanny pack. It clicks on your phone. Like, who's to say it's not like, and everything. It transforms your old stuff into new stuff. That's cool. And so I did it as a DIY video, and I put it up on YouTube, and I was wearing it, and I like couldn't go anywhere without being stopped.
Yeah.
But like to the point that my husband was like, this is silly at this point.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to make these things? And I was just like, no, I don't make them. Like, here's, and I would airdrop them the YouTube video, and I would tell them where they could buy the materials downtown. And I was like, no. And one of my sister's friends, we did like a DIY night at my sister's house. And she has all these incredible friends, and all of them are incredibly successful and can buy all the things for all the people. And so we're sitting there, we're doing a DIY night, and I'm like teaching them how to make it. It was hilarious. I mean, it was hilarious. And they had so much fun, and they loved it. And one of the women was like, okay, this was fun and everything, but like, what are you going to charge me to make it? And I was like, I don't make them. And she's like, just listen, I am not gonna DIY it. Like, this isn't happening. So just like, what's it going to cost? And so I like gave her some stupid number because I didn't want to do it, So I was like, I don't know, it's like $400. And she's like, I'm going to take 11. I've got a Christmas dinner, and I want them to be everyone's gifts. And like, my head just like, I was like, what?
Whoa, yeah.
And so I went downtown, I bought the materials, I made them. And like, that moment for me was like, okay, wait, maybe there's
Holy
like something
shit.
here.
Yeah.
Because like, she can buy anything.
Yep.
She wants this, and she wants me to make it. Like, maybe there's something here. And so I started looking into finding the material, because I was buying it in downtown LA, but it wasn't coming from LA. So I was trying to find it directly. And by doing that, I ended up finding someone that could make them and help make them. So I was taking videos of new weaves, because I wanted everything to feel really unique.
Yeah.
And the original weave that I had done was something that like existed in the world. So I started designing my own weaves and sending them videos, and it just expanded from that. It started off as 2 detachable purse straps, and now I think there's 30 purse straps. There's maybe 20 handbags. There's in phone products and jewelry and accessories and tops and sweaters and buttons, and like it's just exploded.
It's incredible.
But I think the reason it did, honestly, was that Rocknot, because it's an accessories brand, automatically fits in with people's personal style.
Yeah,
because
sure.
A girl with super grungy, funky, wild style can wear hers on some weird furry cuckoo bag, and then someone with like understated simple elegance can wear it on
Totally.
like it instantly transforms because it's part of an outfit, and it fits, it dissolves into their outfit, and so it fits them instantly.
Yep.
So there was something in that I think is why it actually worked, is that I felt like I was providing to people a tool for them to continue to communicate who they were.
Yeah, it's taking away everything that was stopping you before, which is like, yeah, you're too tall, you're too short. It's like, yeah, anyone can take this and make it their own. And there's different colors and different, And
that's why everything is like detachable and interchangeable. And it's like, who am I to say the bag you want to wear? Like, you can put it on it. Sure, I make bags, but like put it on anything.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a million lengths, because like it should fit everyone just where they want it. Like all of that stuff just somehow worked. When it previously was an obstacle, it suddenly became like a tool.
Your way in. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, super fun.
And I'm really curious about your love and your business in fashion and how social platforms have gone from a place where, you know, we scroll and we see what people are up to originally, right? And now we scroll and I'm freaking shopping. I am buying. I'm like, I want those pants. Boop, right?
Yep.
So I'm curious your thoughts on how that has changed by way of social media.
It's just a completely different ball game. Like, one of the most important things to me on Rocknot is that we have to have this like really super fast customer service response and very, very real, authentic reviews. Two things, because in it, again, there's a lot of me that has these like older ways of thinking where I'm like, someone's going to be introduced to a brand on Instagram. They have no way of knowing it's not a scam. So like someone has to get back to you right away. Like if someone sends an email is like, hey, and they go more than 24 hours without a response, I get like panicked about that because I'm like, they need a real human with like real normal inflection in their texting tone to respond to them. And they need to see real reviews with real people and photos. That's the way that they'll feel relaxed. There is such an incredible way for us to not only share content and information, but with everything good comes, you know, the other side of it, and people can take advantage. And so you really have to differentiate yourself. And I think that's where this very refreshing push towards like authenticity has been so exciting, because you don't need big, shiny, polished content.
No.
People want to see you relaxed and to show up. And in an interesting way, it has really almost trained me to get rid of some of that more hosty stuff.
Polished stuff.
Because like if I imagine I'm posting this on TikTok will rip me apart if I put on some like,
100%.
and I do this like thing. They're gonna be like, ugh, they're just gonna, no interest. So it has to feel like they just dropped in on a moment I was having, and they just show up and they've dropped in on me as though they come in mid-sentence. And it's really refreshing, because you don't need all the money and you don't need all the training and you don't need a pretty backdrop. Anywhere at any time, you just need to show up and be relaxed about it. It's nice that I don't need to spend thousands of dollars and hire models and do these crazy shoots. It's like something new came in and I sit on my back porch steps and I like chat for a second.
Yeah,
you know?
I know. I love it. I know. And watching you grow this brand has been so fun. And it's so you, and it's that authenticity. It's like the perfect marriage of it, you know?
Thank you.
There's also this surge of so many people starting brands, right? In health and beauty and wellness and fashion. Like, it's so rad. And what would be your advice to some of those people, or people maybe who haven't done it yet but are still thinking about it?
Well, here's the thing. So I'm born and raised in LA from a family of artists and entrepreneurs. And so I was raised in a town that had the excitement of fashion and entertainment. I did also see how people lose their individuality and they lose what makes them special in trying to fit into what they think LA is supposed to be. And so that always bothered me right away. So I loved the individuality that people could have in their clothing and how they could communicate who they are through that way. So that was the DIY content I created, the hosting content, all of that stuff was find out who you are and fucking
Totally.
own it. Let's
Yeah.
just do that and forget what it's supposed to look like. And then my parents, my dad, an immigrant, moved here after the army from Israel, came here, didn't speak the language, took English classes at night, started a business, created an insanely successful business, met my mom here. She got her general contractor's license, started running her own business. Her mother is an artist. My aunt is an artist. My brother's an artist. I'm an art. Like, it is in our family.
Yeah.
And so there was this feeling always that was, why buy it, make it? Like, just always. The thought that we would go to like Party City
Right.
was like, it's
Right.
like, that's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like,
Yeah.
what? So the idea of making stuff and making stuff beautiful by ourselves, you don't need to buy it, but you had to provide value. No one's going to give you their money because you want them to.
Yeah.
Because you think what you make is precious. What? Why? Why should they give you their hard-earned money? What value are you providing? And that's the same with eyeballs and content.
Yeah,
Just
it's
because I
true.
spent
Yeah.
2 days filming this video does not mean I'd earned your eyeballs. Did it do something that earned it? What's the value? Like, and by the way, I had failed businesses. Like, this was not like I had this magic sauce and it worked. I did things and they did not work. But with Rocknot, I think the fact that it's an accessory that people can wear in their own unique way really worked. I think the fact that it's all detachable and interchangeable and multifunctional was the value. When you are starting a business, when you have an idea, is there an audience here outside of your family and friends? I think that's a really important question to ask yourself. I think the biggest advice that I can give anybody starting a business is to start with the smallest conceivable quantities and investment you can, because it allows you the flexibility to listen and
Yeah.
pivot
Yeah.
and make changes. When you go all in on something and you drain your life savings and you buy 10,000 units because you think it's the most incredible thing and it saves you $4 a piece by doing that, and then it turns out
Nobody wants it. And then you're stuck with 9,999 units. Yeah.
or you realize a flaw. If you only bought 100 pieces and you spent 3 times the amount for those 100, yes, 100 times out of 100, yes. 100 pieces later, you are on to version number 2.
Right.
With all of the information you
Right.
learned, with all of the feedback that you got, you have to listen to everybody's feedback. You don't have to do it all, but you got to listen. And you hear, oh, this bothered people. They wish it was a little like this. Listen to everybody. And then V2 is new and improved, and you should still only do 100 because there will be a V3. The biggest lesson I learned, no matter how much I think I've thought of everything, something will go wrong.
Well, better to sell out too, right? And say, "Oh, we're out of stock," because I feel like there's a lot of companies that you see, and then there's almost like even more of an appetite for it.
You can get someone to buy once, but can you get them to keep buying? And that's the quality of your product. Like, that's the thing that really matters, because your quality becomes your own advertising.
Yeah.
I don't need to target to you anymore. Whereas if this thing doesn't do what it says it's going to do,
Yeah.
it
Forget
is,
it.
you are just, customer acquisition over and over and over, spending to get people in because they're not returning customers. That is just such a waste. So yes, the marketing, it's important. The messaging is important, all that stuff. But like, the quality of what you create is what's going to either be like a real business or
Something that's around for an hour,
And
then
it's
it's
just like,
done
bang.
and dissolved.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'd love to get into what you think consumerism is today in this fast world of social and fast fashion. What you think about how we are as consumers.
Well, I think e-com changed everything.
Yeah.
And I think COVID changed everything,
Yeah.
because I think there was an entire generation of people who would not have ever got on the e-com bandwagon
Totally. Yeah.
that had to. There are grandparents that were Instacarting. That would have passed them by. That just
Yeah.
never would have happened.
Sure.
This accelerated where we were going. It wasn't long ago that you would never buy shoes online. I can't try them on. Like, how can I buy my shoes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you an insane person? And that sounds so silly now,
I
but
know. Yeah.
that is 100% how it was. Well, now, because billions of people are shopping online, there are 2 things that happened there. One is reviews and an aggregate of feedback that tells you
Yep.
99% accuracy, you're going to be an 8 and a 5. These run a little bit large.
Yep.
Okay. That did a huge thing.
It did.
Right?
Yep.
All of that stuff where you've got reviews and enough people are buying online that now there's enough feedback that the online shopping experience is more intuitive. So there was that. The fact that online businesses allowed for easy returns changed everything.
Yeah.
Because now you're shopping at home. I'm buying 2 sizes of each. I'm buying the 7 colors I'm kind of thinking of. They're going to come home. I'm going to try it all on. I have a prepaid label, whatever I don't want to put in the box, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Those things changed everything because you walk through a department store now and
it's overwhelming a bit for me, at least.
It's overwhelming and it's a little sad.
Oh, yeah. No, the lack of people there, 100%.
And so that's a very different experience. And that's why I think a lot of stores that make their stores an experience are the ones that are still doing really well or that have their own brick and mortar that like you walk in and you feel a vibe.
Totally.
You're like part of it and this feels exciting and fun. And like even if I'm not shopping, like let's do a little loop around Free People.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, like I'm in the vibe. Like, do I need this keychain? No, I don't, but I'm buying it. Like you get sucked into it, right? And there's an experience. Whereas there needs to be a blankness to department stores because it is featuring so many different brands that it has to be a blank slate. And because of that, there's very little vibe. There's very little experience when you walk in. And so it's lacking a little bit in that. So for those things, I think people would just prefer shopping online. Get it online, get it sent to my house. And so I think that really changed. It changed the way that we buy. And then I think it also changed the way that businesses ran.
So I am asking every guest when they come on something about joy. Has there been a piece of content or a collaboration or just something that you've seen recently that has brought, and joy is, it's almost a bit of a trite word, but it's also such a pure word that I think we don't talk about joy enough. So not to put you on the spot, but curious if there's something that has brought you that feeling.
So one of my dreams has always been to have like a talk show. I'm not Oprah. I'm not Kelly Clarkson. I don't have a name that's like, sure, we'll give you your own show. So I knew that was going to be something I needed was a co-host and that I could banter with. And then I was at a birthday party for a mom at school and I saw this woman who I'd never met. And she was just like striking. She was so interesting looking. Her name's Bette Bentley. She was like super tall, red hair, Southern, like so funky, so funny, so interesting. And I walk over and we start talking and I was just completely glued to her the whole night. I just was like, this chick is fucking cool.
Yeah,
like
I don't when that happens.
Just like, you want to be my best friend? Like it was like that
totally.
Right away.
Yeah.
So we became friends. So it got me thinking and I was like, what if Bette was the person what if we do this talk show? Like, I don't know, what if we make this talk show?
Yeah.
And so I talked to her about the idea and she was like super into it. And I texted my friend Glenn Milley, who was a producer on Home and Family and a Emmy award-winning producer on Red Table Talk and just like a really cool dude. And I texted him and I was like, I've got this thing I kind of want to do. Like, I don't know, like, do you have time? Do you like want to be my executive producer? Like, what are you doing? And so we had these meetings and we ended up shooting 8 episodes of this little talk show. Like half in my house, half in her house. We had guests come on. And,
amazing.
And it was what I loved about it. We're in the editing process now. And it's, it was a good reminder, like, you don't have to wait around. Like, there's something you really want to do and there's a way you really want to connect with people. Like, I really want to connect with people. I love that so much. And I have always felt when I am talking to the camera, I literally feel people on the other side. Yeah. I feel who I am talking to. Yeah. And that's why it's always given me such joy. And it felt so natural to me. And so when there's something you really want to do that does give you that joy, like maybe you just have to do it. And maybe it's not going to look like you want right away. And maybe it's not going to get the numbers you want right away. But like the joy is enough of a reason to do it. So that's the part that I love. And the part that I don't is I'm in that same boat that I've been in, which is like doing it all myself and feeling like, do I have the ability on top of everything else I'm doing now to be producing this show, to be editing this show? I directed it, to be like, it's really a lot. What I miss about Home and Family is it was a moving train and all I had to do was run fast enough to hop on ride it, and then I hopped off, and it kept going. What is very hard about the content creation thing, and why I think a lot of people, I get very frustrated when people roll their eyes at content creators talking about burnout, because I think it shows such a naive view and such a lack of understanding of what it really takes, because you are doing 42 jobs.
Yeah.
You are not only the producer pitching the ideas, you are physically getting and making whatever is needed for that idea. You are the DP, you are filming it, you are doing audio, you are editing it, you are marketing it, you are your hair and makeup, you are the talent, you are so many things, and you have all those different parts of your brain that have to be like running at optimal output at the time they need to be.
100%.
Simultaneously at the other time. So like I need to be filming content right now in order to have something for tomorrow, but I release something today. So I need to be in marketing mode for today's content that I was editing. I need to be editing what's going up tomorrow, but filming what's going up when, like, it is really fucking a lot.
Yeah.
That's the part that I want the train. The every job part is the part that's really hard for me. The show's called Orly and Bet. Like, I love Orly and Bet. The show is literally supposed to be like 30 minutes of pure joy.
Yeah.
It is just like you said it would be. It is beauty and style and wellness and parenting and self-care and humor and hacks and business, and guests come on and questions, and let's get in the kitchen, and what's your favorite thing you bought this week? And it's really lighthearted and fun. And when the 30 minutes are over, you should just feel happier, like you sat down with a couple of friends. Like, that's the goal. But to make that a finished product like that is a lot. And so I think that's the thing. It's giving me so much joy, but at the same time, it's giving me a little bit of anxiety because I'm overwhelmed with how to actually fit it into my life. And, you know, I'm just eager to, and I don't think it's ego, but it might be, but I'm just eager to have people like believe in what I'm doing enough that they want to do it.
Yeah. So number one, bravo for just taking on yet another thing that I know you don't have time for, right? Because you also have children and the whole thing. Yeah. But so if we break it down, you don't need the network. You have YouTube, right? So like that's the first thing to think about is like, where is this going to go? And then the second piece is like, it needs to be funded, right?
Yeah.
So right now, the brands are everything. Right? Yeah. Some of them get it, and I think they're continuing to understand more. But I think with a lot of these, we'll call them legacy brands, right? That have been around for a long time, and they've had the, you know, the boardrooms and the conference rooms with all the suits, and it's like, we have to do this, and this is the language. They are getting in their own way because they're paying lots of money to talent and creators to do these campaigns. And when it flops, it's because the brand is trying to hold too much creative control.
Exactly.
And I'm with you, and I have so much respect when the creator is just like, I'm not going to send you 12 rounds of edits. You know, I'll get on 5 calls with you. We can go through what the creative is going to be, but then I'm going to shoot it and you're going to trust me. I'm not going to like shoot it, edit it, you know, all that stuff because it is so much more work.
Like I'm not an actor, so I don't say other people's words. Yeah. Like I say my own words. You got to give me the freedom to be me. Again, the audience is so fucking smart. The audience is so smart. They can tell. This is a really weird analogy, but like, you know, when someone gets a little bit of work done and you can't tell what it is, but you're like,
they did something.
Yeah. I feel like the way their lip is moving is different. Do you know? It's like, and you feel like you're crazy because it's so subtle. And when you look at it and you're like, but like we can perceive the slightest inauthenticity, the slightest different, like we can perceive it without understanding why or what we're perceiving. And so when people are saying things and they aren't believing it, they aren't relaxed, they aren't comfortable, we just get the ick and we don't know why. And then a video flops, an ad doesn't work. It's just one of those things. And like we don't know why we do it and we don't know how we do it, but we can. And we all know when we've seen something, we're just like, ew. And we don't, you know, we're like, I don't know why that bothered me so much. That was so annoying. Yeah. And it's like, there's nothing annoying about it. So I do think that is the beauty of having all of these incredible content creators and influencers, is that there's all these unique personalities, but just like you're saying, when they the new world and old world, the retail and e-com, the broadcast and streamer, like these two worlds come together, and there's going to be this awkward dance that they do until they figured it out.
And we're in it. And we're in the awkward dance.
The awkward dance is currently happening.
Yeah,
totally.
And it's, you know, it could be a year, it could be 5, it could be 10, but it's so fast evolving that I actually think that the dance is going to be quite awkward kind of always, you know, because it's going to be this old way, this old world, this old way of doing things, trying to catch up with this new world. And the new world's just going to be like, fuck you, bye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's a room full of executives that come from that more traditional corporate environment and don't have anyone who's been in that content creator space to know the magic that can come from releasing the reins a little bit,
I know.
It's very scary.
It is.
And I think, you know,
well, and they're all afraid of losing their jobs. It's, you know, it's I think there's this massive transition truly that, you know, and we just said we're in the middle of it, but I think just everywhere in entertainment, in media, in fashion, in brands and advertising and marketing, and in all of these worlds that didn't live completely in silos, but were in their own lanes for many years, many decades, really, right? Yeah. Now it's all intertwining, and it's confusing as hell, and people are, you know, getting laid off and fired because everyone's just trying to figure it out. But at the same time, in those moments of uncertainty and chaos, that's where the opportunity lies.
If you can be light on your feet and you can pivot, and instead of resisting, like, go with the wave, just roll with it, go where it takes you. And that's a big reason why, like, even the piece earlier about, like, an entrepreneur starting to stay light on your feet via your own investment, your own inventory, your own whatever, like in all ways, the more nimble you are to be able to take the feedback, see the information, see the way the tide's going, make some adjustments here or there, the more successful you'll be. Know what matters to you and then figure out how to do those things in the new way things are moving. Totally. So, like, what is the most important to you? What's the message you care the most about? What's the connection you want most? Like, what are those things that you really think, like, you're here to do and you're here to communicate? And then as the landscape changes, how can you continue to connect and communicate in all those new avenues? And it's hard because I think you can feel like you've invested all this time building this one thing and now no one cares about that thing anymore. And it's like, do you have the energy to build it all up again? You know? So it's like,
that is entrepreneurship. That is, you can't get your feelings hurt because people's tastes change. And it's, you know, it's like, I mean, just in the fashion industry alone, it's like, fast, right? It's just like style shit, like the things change. And with television, people binge shit and they're done with a show that probably ran on the air for 6-8 months in a weekend, right? So it's just that you have to keep going. I'm constantly doing that, you know, and constantly trying, you know, you try to see around the corners and you try to, you know, you fall down and it's like, fuck, that hurt, right? Yep. But like, all right, let's keep going. So, yeah. Holy cow, that was amazing.
So fun.
And when I texted Orly last night before coming, I was like, don't worry, we can gab. We can talk about anything. I'm not worried about it. Forever and ever. I'm just so grateful to you for coming and joining in this second iteration of Cultivated Conversations.
So good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, Orly, tell us, where can we find you? Where can we find Rocknot?
So, Rocknot is rocknot.com. That will be the website, the best place for it. The Shop Rocknot is an Instagram page, which is a good place to kind of get a sense of how people are wearing it. There's always lots of fun videos on there and behind the scenes of designing stuff. So, that's always really cool. And then the YouTube channel is Orly's channel. It used to be the DIY Designer. And now, as I'm like expanding into other things, I changed the name, which felt like a big moment. So, that's Orly's channel, but it's the same channel as it always was. And then Orly Shani on like Instagram and TikTok, although I'm a little quieter there these days, more Instagram stories and stuff like that. Cool. You know, but still there.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you, my love.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Cultivated Conversations. I'm your host, Jen Proctor. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Please please subscribe. You can find us at Cultivated Entertainment and send us an email, hello@cultivatedent.com. We want to hear from you. What did you like? What did you not like? What do you want to hear more of? Who do you want to see on the show? Can't wait to hear from you, and thanks for listening in.